Members of the class of 2018, please turn and face the stage. Be seated. On behalf of the class of 2018, faculty, staff, and administration, I'd like to welcome you to the 45th commencement ceremony for Bloomington High School North. Thank you for joining us today and celebrating years of hard work on behalf of the graduating class. At this time, I'd like to introduce our first student speaker, Tamara Brown.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to open by first congratulating the class of 2018. Today we'll receive a pretty piece of paper that validates the last 4 years of work we put forth just to reach this very day. So for those of you who struggled through math homework, cried through a thesis, or passed on sleep so you could instead pass a class, celebrate. Not only are you still standing, but you've triumphed. My name is Tamara Brown, and as of today, I'm a high school graduate who will gladly admit to you that I do not have it all figured out. And I don't think we're supposed to. High school is homework, practice, club meetings, game days, and tests you probably didn't study for. But it's also everything in between. It's the change in friend groups, your music taste, pop culture, and politics. It's the news of school shootings, cities without water. Let's all embrace it. We'll just take it in. Okay, but seriously. It's the news of school shootings, cities without water, and 1,500 kids missing. Issues reaching far outside of our own community that somehow still hit home. That combined with what we learned from our own community, the internet, and our experiences, we begin to figure out how we think the world is and should be. And while living amidst a culture where people try to mute the voices of others that don't align with their own beliefs, you might allow yourself to be silenced. Don't. One of the most important things I learned in high school wasn't in the curriculum, it was from walking amongst all of you, and that's perspective. If you look around this room at the people next to you, some have dealt with mental illness, racism, sexism, stress, harassment, and discrimination. Some have lost parents or siblings, had an injury that took them out of the game, had dreams get crushed and then reborn as something new. Someone struggled and fought just to be able to walk and cross this stage today. Some have had their heart broken, either by someone they loved or their test grades in calculus, possibly both. Some who scream, sing lyrics in their car, who binge watch the same Netflix shows as you, who can relate to the fear and excitement you feel about what's to come next. We each have a completely unique outlook based on our own experiences, each of us being evidence that there's no one right way to be here. I believe we benefit from getting a peek into someone else's perspective. It offers us the chance to better understand each other and challenge us to respect the areas where we may differ. I'm grateful to have had teachers who are willing to foster discussions that allowed us to not only voice our opinions, but expand it beyond what we already know. It's easy to be divisive, separating ourselves from those who don't look like us, think like us, or agree with us. However, division eliminates the chance of ever being something greater than what we are on our own. And with the amount of creativity, talent, passion, and capacity for growth we have, we deserve to work toward better. So no, I don't have it all figured out, and I hope you don't either. Figuring it out isn't a destination. It's an ongoing journey filled with stories, information, and people who offer a perspective that allows you to grow your own. It's respecting and working with the people beside you to make tomorrow better than today. It's realizing that your time as a student doesn't end when you exit the doors of this building. Share your journey, your beliefs, and most importantly, listen to those of others. Don't ever forget that you have the power to create positivity. We have the opportunity to create change in this world. Don't waste it. So keep learning. Find strengths in the things that make us different and own your voice because no one else's is quite like yours. That to me is just as worthy of celebration. Thank you. Next up, I'd like to introduce the absolutely incredible Hannah Allen.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, I sat down to write a great speech for graduation, but then I got distracted by Netflix and spent 6 hours binge watching The Office. I am sure I'm not the only student in this room who has occasionally been distracted while trying to complete a task. Our generation has had access to more technology than any generation in history. A major skill we learned in these past 4 years was how to succeed at school while dealing with all of these distractions. What do I mean by that? Well, let me refresh your memory. As we walked into school for the first time our freshman year, we had the mentality that we were beyond prepared for the next 4 years. However, by the second week of school, we realized that there was no way we would survive without facing, and in many ways needing, distractions from the pressures of high school. Freshman year, we were introduced to avoiding our problems with Netflix and Trivia Crack. One made for good conversation about interesting shows you could watch, and the other provided great competition when trying to prove who was the smartest amongst your friends. Sophomore year, they gave us new devices and then blocked access to all those exciting distractions. However, we used our resourcefulness and found ways around it, like using all of our phone data to watch it anyways. Junior year, this was the hardest year. The biggest distraction really was knowing that we still had one more year to go after that one. Also, many of us had gotten our driver's license and had the distraction of thinking of all we could do with that new freedom. But here we are, senior year, when we all are distracted by what the future holds. Where will we all be in 5 years? What careers will we have? And how will we stop playing Fortnite long enough to complete all our important tasks? Those thoughts are very distracting. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe your distractions didn't have to do with video games or phones. Perhaps instead of staying in and working on that paper, you decided to go to the football game. Or you had practice for hours after school. Or maybe your distraction was trying to figure out how to juggle everything on your plate so it all worked out in the end. All of us sitting here demonstrate that no matter how much we were distracted, we did it. We are about to graduate. So on our graduation day, I want to say that no matter how many distractions the future holds and you discover where it is life will take you, just know you'll always have the capability to overcome distractions and be a success. Thank you. Our next speaker is George Morpurgo.
Good morning, parents, students, and faculty. I knew I was going to speak at graduation, but I could not foresee that allergy season would be so bad, so my voice is going to be a little strange today, so please bear with me. But I still hope that you are as excited as I am about this day, because it's a day that we all have been waiting for a long time. I spent 4 years at BHSN. During that time, I've met people from several different walks of life. When I first got here, I did not expect to branch out nearly as much as I did, but looking back on it now, I realized there was no other way that it could have gone. The reason for my branching out was simple. I was weird. I was a weird kid. I'm still weird. Being at North, it is more than okay to explore different groups. You can be a theater kid, a football player, a flutist, a photographer, something of your own. Digging deep into what you want to be is the secret to this high school. North just makes it easy. The people in this school who really know what's going on, though, are the weird ones. And there are a lot of them. I'm talking about the ones who are different from you. Some people see these kids with cotton candy hair and say, wow, that's weird. I'm a fan of the cotton candy hair, don't worry. Meanwhile, this cotton candy hair kid is saying how weird your cowboy boots are, and the kid with the Nirvana shirt is weirded out by the kid blasting Ray Sremmurd out of the headphones, who can't figure out why the teacher is wearing overalls and a safari hat. But to quote Hunter S. Thompson, when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. The great thing about North is that it reflects the real world like no other place. Life is not normal, it's not predictable, it's a turbulent ride. And you don't really know what's going on after the fact. Until after the fact, excuse me. North was like that for me. At first, the differences among us were so jarring and kind of scary. But looking back on it now, I can see what an extraordinary experience it has been to meet all of these people in this room and to see everybody exceed in their own ways. So if I can't leave you guys with anything else, let me leave you with this. Don't settle for ordinary. Don't settle for boring. This crazy place has provided you with a wonderful gathering of people. People who disagree with you. People you've never seen otherwise. Don't let this experience go to waste. Wherever you go and however you live life extraordinarily. And remember, when the going gets weird, you will turn pro. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce the next student speaker, old friend of mine. You know him, Caleb Power.
Bloomington High School North. I'm honored to be here and to speak today in front of you all. Let's all take a deep breath. We made it. This is what we've been waiting for. We started out in August of 2014, too scared to dance for our Cougar leaders. Just days going into a school where kids who haven't started puberty yet are in classes with kids who have to shave twice a day. From seniors telling you your class is on the 3rd floor or outside, to sitting in the trenches of the student section, freshman year certainly is not the easiest. Losing friends, finding more, and learning things like what a fishbowl is or what the commons are. For some of us, it was the hardest part of this whole experience. That and finding a place to sit in the cafeteria. Now, I'd like to think that everyone had a moment in high school that changed everything for them. A mentor guiding you in the right direction, winning a crucial game, pulling an all-nighter and getting that A, joining a club and finding your passion, a boy or girl who you think is the love of your life, or in my case, joining a team that showed me how much bigger my family actually is. As you look back and think to that moment, never let go of that feeling. Through everything that this world throws at us to divide us, that is the one thing that binds us together. That we all dream of something greater, of making our parents proud, of walking across this stage, and even just the chance that that dream can come true is enough for you to give 110% effort in everything that you do from this point forward. Not another second can be spared because the future waits for no one. So let's all take a step forward and own hope in the face of uncertainty. We are Generation Z, the offspring of a new century, and our whole lives have revolved around change. It may not always be favorable change, but learning to adapt and to keep striding is what will make or break us in the future. From the past 4 years alone, we have had 2 different principals, 2 different presidents, 2 different school schedules, rest in peace to late Wednesdays, and we've even transferred from pencil and paper to charger and stylus. We come after a generation that remembers 9/11 as a great American tragedy, and have grown into one where tragedy seems to strike almost every single day. Hopelessness seems to overcast the world in this day and age. And what I've heard from the adults that run our country now is that our generation is lazy, and that our generation is weak, and that our generation doesn't care. But as I look at this graduating class, I can say nothing is further from the truth. Class of 2018, we are not bound by fear, but fly with bravery. We do not sit out or shut up. We stand up and speak out. We are the class of 2018, and this is not the last you'll be hearing from us. Thank you.
Thank you, students. Next, I'd like to invite George Morpurgo and Gerald Alexander back to the stage for the challenge of the class.
Hello again. So every year, the outgoing senior class president passes a challenge on to the next senior class president. Most years, this is a challenge that has to do with school spirit, and that's wonderful. But as I was thinking about what this challenge should be for the class of 2019, because you may not know them, but they are a capable handful of kids, I could not, in good conscience, give a challenge that has to do with simply school spirit, because I wonder and remain skeptical about what that would have done for Noblesville last week or Santa Fe a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to ask the class of 2019 to cure an epidemic. I'm not going to ask them to push for a major law change in this country. But I do think the one thing that we can do here is maintain something that I was given when I had hardship and struggle and confusion. And that was love, support. I'm challenging the class of 2019 to reach out to anybody who needs help, to anybody who might need a friend, somebody to have a shoulder to cry on. Because not all of us made it today with no struggle at all. I don't think any of us did. So my challenge for you, Jarrett, is to maintain the compassion of the school and reach out. Do you accept this challenge?
On behalf of the class of 2019, I accept this challenge.
It's my pleasure to present to you the trustees of the Manila County Community School Corporation. I ask that you hold your applause until all members have been introduced. President, Mr. Kelly Smith. Vice President, Dr. Lois Sable-Skelton. Secretary, Ms. Kathy Fuentes. Assistant Secretary, Mrs. Martha Street. Trustee, Dr. Janine Butler. Trustee, Mr. Keith Klein. And Trustee, Ms. Sue Wanzer. In addition, I'd like to recognize and thank members of our administration and guidance staff. Superintendent Dr. Judith Demuth, Mr. Marcus Debro, Mr. Tim Hudson, Dr. Corey Irwin, and Mrs. Gayla McAdams. Guidance counselors, Mrs. Julie Spear, Mr. Greg Chaffin, Ms. Katie Clark, Mrs. Mary Priester Hanks, and Mrs. Kathy Rillo. I'd be remiss if I did not thank Ms. Miller, Mr. Wilson, Ms. Stockhouse, and students of our music program for their service today. And finally, I'd like to recognize Mr. Caudell, Mr. Shields, and members from our video club for live streaming our commencement ceremony. This afternoon, before honors are conferred, I wish to express my appreciation to the parents and family in attendance. We all know without your love and support, your student would not be here today. Thank you for supporting not only the students gathered before us, but also the classroom teachers. At this time, I'd like for all faculty and staff to stand and be recognized. The honors of the class of 2018 are many. 94% of our students have indicated they plan to pursue some type of post-secondary education or training. The class also earned over $3 million in academic scholarships. Our Habitat for Humanity chapter built its 17th house. Our marching band finished 8th in the state, and our symphony band finished state runner-up for a second year in a row. Our boys tennis team finished as regional champions. Girls cross country finished as semi-state champions, and we had the boys tennis singles state runner-up. Our Science Olympiad team finished 4th in the state. There are 6 AP Scholars with honors, 5 AP Scholars with distinction, 17 AP Scholars, and 3 National Merit finalists in the class. You will also notice that there are 59 names listed in the program as Principal Scholars. All of these students finished high school with a cumulative GPA of 4.0 or higher. There are 2 members in the class that we are especially proud of: salutatorian Sarah Breedemeyer and valedictorian Joy Tracy. Please join me in recognizing these 2 fine scholars. Both Sarah and Joy will be recognized later in the program. Students, over the course of your lifetime, the world has changed greatly. As I think about the future and all the challenges that lie ahead of you, I'm encouraged by your global awareness and desire to help the world become a better place. Today is an ending and a beginning for each of you. Be mindful that success is not found in knowledge alone, but also in the relationships you develop with others. It is easy to picture many of you accomplishing great things as you follow your dreams. I'm certain you'll find success waiting for you if you remain persistent. With all sincerity, seniors, we wish you good luck, good fortune, great success, and great happiness. Members of the Board of Education, Dr. Demuth, by the powers vested in me by the state of Indiana as principal of Bloomington High School North, I do hereby certify that members of the class of 2018 have met all graduation and/or certification requirements established by the State Board of Education and Monroe County Community School Corporation. And now it's my honor to introduce Dr. Judith Demuth for the presentation of the class.
On behalf of the Monroe County Community School Corporation and the entire staff, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve all of you students and all of your families. Your families look upon you, and I know that there's been a lot of support from them. We can't thank them enough for all that they've done for you. Let's give them a round of applause. Mr. Akers, by the authority vested in me by the Indiana Department of Public Education, it is a privilege to present to you the members of the Bloomington High School North graduating class of 2018 for receipt of their diplomas.
Tamara Kennedy Brown. Hannah Jo Allen. George Ross Morpurgo. Caleb Olin Meredith Poor. Where's Jared? Jared Michael Earls. Melody Deanne Abrahams. Cassidy Elise Abram. Caleb Stephen Adair. Zoe Dale Adams. Ibrahim Mohamed Al-Naseri. Shems Basil Alubaidi. Mohina Alamova. Madeline Grace Allard. Callie Renee Allen. Hallie Sue Allgood. Lucas Davis Anderson. Alexander Darvin Apple. Flora Campbell Arthur. Brian Richmond Ash. Connor James Ayers. Isabella Bali Voiles. Dontrice Unique Atus Barbie. Rachel Elizabeth Barrett. Edward Rizzolino Barron. Shay Elizabeth Barrow. Aubrey Bowman. Lane Cornelius Beams. Cassidy Lynn Bevan. Audrey Elena Begley. Carly Sue Bell. Samuel Lee Bell. Cole Robert Bennett. Ethan Trace Berkeley. Kristen Jane Kuulealii Bills. Logan Daniel Bainline. Sierra Johanna Bowman. Jared Jackson Bramwell. Andres Enrique Brandt Becker. The class of 2018 salutatorian, Sarah Braidmeyer. Christopher Briggs. Isaac Brook Briggs. Emma Nicole Bright. Kira Deanne Brinson. Brian Bristow. Brian Stephen Franklin Brooks Stid. Ethan Michael Brown. Mackenzie Rose Browning. Alexis Ariel Bruce. Morgan Danielle Brummett. Andrea Jordan Buck. Anna Nadia Buck. Brooke Cheyenne Buck. Lauren Nicole Bergler. John Frederick Bull. Forrest Alden Burdette. Kate Mahe Alani Burkett. Iona Rochelle Burnfield. Evan Michael Burns. Michaela Lynn Knight Byers. Jacob Lee Kane. Zontivia Capri Calloway. Nina Castro Sauer. Brittany Lynn Chapman. Austin Christopher Chappelle. Paige Avery Chitwood. Ashley Sue Cliff. Charles Jackson Cochran. Madison Faith Coffey. Mason Isabella Cole. Grant Richard Collins. Noah Clay Collins. Sawyer Thomas Connolly. Ava Elizabeth Costello. Lily Mae Costello. Quinn Elizabeth Cox. Daniel Cole Kraft. Sydney Taylor Craig. Jesse Lee Cullison. Alec Ryan Curry. John Lars Dare. Samantha Nicole Daniel. Verdiana de Santiago. Justin Daniel DeMattis. Victoria Hope Denson. Matthew David DePierre. Angela Grace DeCristo. Caroline Ross Dixon, Rose Dixon. Johnson Nicholas Dolson. Grace Elizabeth Donahue. Andrew Michael Donham. Michael Kiernan Donovan. Mary Catherine Doyon. Jenny Lily Farid Driscoll. John Paul Zubay. Micaiah Scott Edwards. Braden Ross Elgard. Brett Patrick Elgard. Caitlin Ann Ellison. Madison Lachey Eppards. Erkembeleg Erdenelbeleg. Kevin Duan Essett II. Bridget Ann Ferrens. Isabella Christine Farmer. Jacob Grant Feigenbaum. Brianna Marie Feshin. Pablo Danielle Fierce Garcia. Dalian Noah Fisher. McKendry Loren Fisher. Emma Dawn Fleener. Frank Florian Flesser IV. Garrett Carl Flick. Sydney Lane Ruth Foreman. Karina McKee Nirad Fort. Serena Abigail Fox. Abby Nicole Frazier. Bailey Nicole Fries. Rebecca Ann Fry. Hunter Allen Fuller. Alexander James Galbraith. Liam Gallion Wilkerson. Dennis Wade Garvin. Alexa Marie Gebhardt. Sarah Ivy June Gilbert. Maxwell James Goody. Chelsea Marie Gooley. Logan James Gosser. Madeline Rose Graff. Lori Graves. Bryce Robert Gray. Rachel Marie Gray. Mason Hastings Green. Katie Lane Greenwald. Brandon Lee Griffiths. Miko Zaki Guthrie. Rachel Cabeda Haile. Thalia Griffin Halloran. Sarah Elise Hannon. Michael Robert Harmon. Jaden Elena Harris. Jackson Henry Brown Harvey. Bailey Elizabeth Hazel Graves. Corey James Henderson. Marguerite Elizabeth Henderson. Leah Ann Herendine. Dakota Levi Higgins. Jaden Scott Hoffman. Allison Hauff. Brandon James Hunt. Casey Renee Hunt Short. Cole Parker Hutchcraft. Benjamin Giovanni Iovino. Jedediah Lee Eisen. Nicholas Andrew Jacob. Olivia Sequoia Jackson. Prince Aidris Yafit Jackson Jr. Nadia Jalal. Dulce Yvonne Jarillo. Sophie Rihanna Jun. Ashlyn Mae Johnson. Hannah Grace Daly Johnson. Noah Alexander Kahn Johnson.
Olivia Frances Kinney. Saman Sharar Khan. Emily Marie King. Kieran Patrick Kuntz. Kaya Lily Krejci. Jacqueline Tusia Krieger. Tristan Blaine Kristen. Ratula Kumar. Raymond Nicholas Laban. Brittany Sheree Laffoon. Catherine Alexandria Larity. Aurora L. Lambert. Tracy Na Lankai Lamptey. David James Michael Langley. Zoe Layton. Braxton Elijah Lee. Songhui Seth Lee. Bennett R. Lewis. William James Lillis. Alexis Nicole Loby. Lillian May Lomel. May C. Longstreth. Hannah Corinne Luddington. Miles Benjamin Main. Ricardo Mays Marrero. Savannah Don Matricardi. Christopher Mason May. Lillian Marie McAfee. Tessa Catherine McAfee. Quinn Stephen McBride. Jordan Andrew McCoy. Gabriel Elijah McGahay. Logan Michael McNeil. Vashawn Michael McThune. Aaron Patricia Meacham. Massimiliano C. Minzer. Olivia Milhan. Morgan Elizabeth Mitchell. Patrick Ryan Mooney. Anastasia Rose Mosier. Macy Rose Mullis. Dulce Melanie Munez. John Robert Muir. Alina Marie Murphy. Bowen W. Murphy. Ruth Louise Null. Martin Sebastian Navas. Kira Lynn Neal. Elizabeth Ann Nicola. Isley Anthony Nixon. Jacob Riley Norris. Gibson Andrew Oliver. Nathaniel Jared Owen. Jacob Daniel Owens. Justin Dean Owens. Jackson Daniel Paflis. Tony G. Palmer. Ryan Nicole Paquette. Noah Avery Pardue. Riley William Pardue. Eleanor Eile Parham. Danelle Allen Parrott. Anjali Kanayale Patel. Janki Rupesh Patel. Jenny Y. Patel. Sophie Nicole Pope. Brandon Keith Porter. Jacob Russell Pawson. Madeline Kate Potter. Phoebe Elizabeth Powell. Cole B. Prather. Huntington Mystica Grace Pratt. Daniel Aiden Price. Michael Benjamin Razzo. Caroline Marie Recker. Richard Zhongmin Ree. Quentin Hunter Riley. Bailey Ann Rogers. Gabriela Michelle Rodriguez. Luna Paola Rodriguez Rufino. Kenneth Mackenzie Rogers. John Parker Rushi. Zora Esma Saidi. Natalie Meadow Sample. Savannah Margaret Sater. Chloe Jean Scales. Audrey Elizabeth Schmalz. Jasmine Seghi. Olivia Ann Self. Donovan Michael Seymour. Noah Charles Shahadi. Norhadi Gabriel Nazif Sharani. Mackenzie May Shea. Noah Lowell Sheldon. Thea E. Showalter. Megan Lee Sipes. Elena Jade Sitzman. Lizette Elena Skiba. Julian Hess Slaughter. Pigga Smiley. Brett Patrick Smith. Caitlin Renee Smith. Christian Randall Smith. Camry Rebecca Smith. Georgia Elaine Smith Christopher. Elizabeth Danae Souders. Noah E. Spencer. Nathan Noble Spriggs. Lauren E. Stallsmith. Kennedy Taylor Stevens. Kyle Clayton Stevens. Greta Claire Stevenson. Savannah Kendall Stern. Kobe Mark Sterner. Mallory Brooke Strange. Joseph M. Sweeney. Shelby Nicole Tagg. Emily Nicole Tamowitz. Jamie Carolyn Tartell. Abu Al-Hussein B. Tassawar. Libby Ann Taylor. Samir Nagasi Tesfagabar. Dennis Tazer. Caitlin Elizabeth Tilford. Drew Allen Tommy. Haley Nicole Tomlinson. Class of 2018 valedictorian, Joy Tracy. Kendall Trilling. Emma K. Unversall. Robert Jeremiah Vetter. Alita Paige Veldman. Ethan George Vogelsang. Elena Mariah Natalie Walls. Zachary Christopher Lee Webb. Sam Andrew Weeger. Trinity Faith Welch. Mickey Alvern White. Samantha Ann Wiles, Jenna R. Wilkerson, Grace Madeline Williams, Jane Margaret Williams, Mary Alyssa Williams, Sarah Ann Williams, Brianna A. Williamson, Clay Carson Wimmer, Casey Scarlett Wisely, Nicholas Edward Woodman, Tristan Woods, Riley Worth, Alexander J. Yamamoto Castillo, James Alexander Grannon, Ethan J. Friley, Laura Suzanne Pearl Southern, Sarah Valei, Austin Suntis James, Ruth Claire Albert, Xavier Artigas Carding, Sung Jun Park, James Mason Riley Fox Jennings, Nicholas Schuyler Allen Mullis.
At this time, I invite George Morpurgo back to the podium for the tassel ceremony.
Hello again. All right, class of 2018, please rise. Man, that felt good. All right, so I hope all of your tassels are on your right side, because apparently that's the way it's supposed to be. You will take it from right to left, as I do. And after that, if you want to throw your cap, you may. Ready? On three. 1, 2, 3.
On behalf of the members of the class of 2018, I'd like to thank you for your attendance today. Bloomington High School North, remember to respect yourself, respect others, be responsible for your own actions, and remember, graduates, you're dismissed.